Hello everyone. Let's begin with the session for today. So now just to give you a recap that yesterday we went through uh, duties, privileges, job role, abstract role and the data role. So now when we saw yesterday that how we can go through the Simulate Navigator and we can check out what all roles are required for certain menu items. So now here I have one example where uh, there is a login from employee and this user has only employee role. So as you can see, there is a lot of difference in the available options for an employee and as an implementation user or any kind of user who has more certain number of roles. So as per roles, these all options varies accordingly. All right. So now let's say for example, when I go to let's say okay, I'll go from the navigator. So basically these all options which are available here, they are also available in this navigator. So let me go to person management. So here in a person management, let me search for an employee Ahmed and let's say I will go to any employee. So here you can see that Ahmed is an employee. I can see all kind of details which is assigned to this or which are available for this employee. Here I can see that I have various tasks available. Okay. Now these tasks, these are the tasks which are controlled which are controlled by the privileges. So when I search for human resource manager, the role which is assigned to HCM implementation user. So if I go to simulate navigator again, so under person management, when I go for view privileges required for menu, I can see that all the tasks here, if you see, these are all the tasks: search person, compare, absence cases, absence records, work schedule assignment, costing for a person, calculation card. So basically these are all the tasks which are available here. So when we say that whether this task is available or not, what do we mean? We mean that whether this task will be sorry, whether that task will be available over here in the task list. This is the task list. So mainly every screen will have this task list. So whether that task will be available in the task list or not can be controlled by all these privileges. So if they say that I don't want payroll relationship or worker personal payment method to be accessed, I don't want this personal payment method to be accessed. So what I can do is I can remove this particular privilege. I can see that task name over here, personal payment methods, and I can see that through which privilege the person is getting the access. So I can see manage worker personal payment method. Now when I remove this privilege from the role, this action will be removed, will be discarded from the task list over here. So this is how we can control the task actions from each role. Now let's go for other options. Okay. So now we have these are all the seeded role as we discussed yesterday. So now Oracle does not allow you or restricts you basically to make any modifications in the seeded role. Now why we have this concept of the seeded role available, or why there is a restriction in the seeded role? Let's take a small walkthrough on that. So let's say this is the employee seeded role, and now we want to use this role to discard some accessibility. Let's say as an employee, I cannot or I do not want my other employees to change their bank account, so change that personal payment method. So this task I will remove it from the employee role. All right. So now further, when I see the seeded employee role or the employee role, I will not have a reference that what originally this employee role was. Did it involve personal payment method or not? I won't have any reference. So as a standard practice, what Oracle says that make a copy of employee role. So I will say that let's say my uh, entity name or my company name is XYZ. So I can say XYZ employee, and I will add custom. So I will create a new role which is copy of employee basically. So I copy this employee role, and then I remove this personal payment method task. So my original remains same, or I can say as is provided by Oracle, and I have another role as per my need. So in future, whenever there is some new functionality added up by Oracle, I can have my employee role and all the other added up updates by Oracle. So in this seeded role, I can have the newly available features as and when updated by Oracle. Now this copy of employee role, definitely uh, you, it's a user created role, so it will not be updated by Oracle updates. So what we need to do in this way, that we need to add the certain privileges or certain updates which are received, we need to add it manually over here. That is the only action which we need to perform if we are using the custom rule, that is the copied rule. So let's say I have employee role. So let me take the seeded employee role. I will select the option and I will say copy rules. So when I copy, I get two options: copy top role and copy top roles and inherited roles. So let me give you another example over here, that human resource manager. Okay. Just a minute. All right. So now this is human resource manager role, and we can see that there are various roles available. If we check the inherited by role name, this column, so basically this column says that this duty we are getting through which role. So there is human resource specialist. So if I check the code, this human resource specialist is again a job role. It means that human resource manager is on top priority, or I can say top in the hierarchy. And human resource specialist is in the next level of hierarchy. So I can say second level in hierarchy. So human resource manager inherits human resource specialist. It means that whatever excess human resource specialist has, that is available to human resource manager. Hence, all the functionalities performed by human resource specialist is also available by human resource manager, signifying that human resource manager has more wider access and is the top in the hierarchy. It means that a global HR, I can say a global HR, or I can say, as the name suggests, that human resource manager. So HR manager will have human resource manager role. Under that, let's say you have multiple human resource specialists who are responsible for some of the functionalities, not all the functionalities. So you create separate roles saying HR specialist, and HR specialist is assigned to certain group of HR specialist 1, HR specialist 2, HR specialist 3, and on the top of all these there is HR manager. So this HR manager manages all these 3 HR specialists, and these all 3 HR specialists have very limited access, but being a human resource manager, you have access to all the data. So human resource manager role will be assigned here, and human resource specialist will be assigned to all these 3 human resource specialists. Okay, so when we talk about copying a role, so when I say that yes, I want to copy the role, and when I say that copy top role, it means that it will copy only the roles which are directly inherited by human resource manager. So as you can see, these two roles are directly inherited by human resource manager. So this human resource manager has directly taken up human resource specialist and run HCM extract reports. Now these two roles are the top role, and when I say the inherited role, that is human specialist, resource specialist. When I say human resource specialist, so these all roles, whatever duties you are seeing here, pending worker addition and hire, or managed person documentation, these all roles or duties or privileges are inherited. It means that these are indirectly attached to human resource manager. They are primarily attached to human resource specialist, and this human resource specialist is attached to the human resource manager. So these are all indirect roles, indirect accesses. So when I go for copy role, what system asks that copy top role? It means that the two roles which we saw, only that will be copied, or copy top role and inherited role. It means that along with human resource specialist and the two roles which are directly copied or directly attached, along with that all these roles will be copied. All these duties, privileges will be carry forwarded to the copy role. Okay, so let's say I'm going for copy top role and inherited role. So as you see, human resource manager, and there is a suffix GSC. So this suffix or any prefix rule, if you want to add, you can add it. You can set this configuration that by default what I want as suffix and what I want as a prefix. That we will check it up later on. So let's say I'm just mentioning human resource manager custom, and similarly I'm modifying my role code saying that this is a demo role, and here I will add a custom. So check this, that job role is by default taken up by the system. Because our human resource manager role was a job role, it is inherited or it is taken HCM job role by default, which we cannot modify. Now, going to the next screen, function security policies. So in short or directly to the point, we can say this is the area from which you can modify your privileges, whether the set of privileges are available to the role or not. We can directly check out from here, function security policies. So if you check again, here there are some privileges which are attached directly. Also I have option load inherited policies. It means that when I click on load inherited policies, there are some privileges which are not directly assigned or attached to human resource manager. Hence, these are some privileges which I have got indirectly, which I've inherited from other roles. So these privileges I cannot remove directly, but the privileges which are assigned directly, I can just select and I can say, I can select the direct privilege and I can say delete. But when I have indirect privileges, that is, let's say absence administration work area, let's say I want to discard this access. So if I select this privilege, my delete option will be disabled because I do not have access to remove this privilege directly. If I want to remove this privilege, I need to remove this role first. Human resource specialist underscore GSC. Now, here is another point, that how did this human resource specialist underscore GSC came up? When we saw only two roles were attached, and that role was human resource specialist. But now I have a human resource specialist underscore GSC. It means that when I said that copy top role and inherited role, what does the system do? That system is also creating a copy of human resource specialist underscore GSC. This is a copy of our seeded role human resource specialist. So when you copy one single role, and when you tell to the system that copy all top role as well as inherited role, system will create a copy of your inherited roles. It means that it will not allow you to modify your seeded roles. It will create another copy of that, and it will again assign it to human resource manager. Hence, everything here will be customized. It means that it will be all copy of the actual ones. So now, talking to this thing, that I want to remove absence administration work area, but I cannot delete it because I do not have direct access. So what I'll need to do is, after creation of this role, I need to go in human resource specialist underscore GSC, and I need to remove this privilege from there. So let's take a look quickly through this chain, and then we'll perform this action. So first of all, this is the area where you can have all the privileges. Next, when I go, this is data security policies. So as the name suggests that data security will be modifiable from here, but primarily we will check it out the another area where your core security regarding the data is modifiable or is changeable or is accessed from. This is not the primary region. The primary region is other somewhere other part which will definitely take a look, but understand that this data security policy will appear once we attach security policies to this role. So we'll come to this part later on definitely. And the next screen which I say is the role hierarchy. So basically here I can see that what all duties, what all roles, major roles which are available or attached to the human resource manager custom role. Okay, now here I can see human resource specialist. So as we see human resource specialist GSE, this role is again, as I said, that it is created because we copied the seeded role. So it is creating another copy of another seeded role, and it is inherited directly by demo HR human resource manager custom, this role. So let's say I'm moving further. This role is available in the human resource manager role. Let's say I am moving forward and I have directly landed on the user. Currently, there is no role. This role is not attached to any user. If you want to add a user, you can click add user, and directly this role will be assigned to that user. So not adding the user right now, I will just directly go to summary and I can click on save and close. Okay. So now it says that my human resource manager role has been created. Uh, Let me give a moment. I will just come back on this page so that it reflects and I will be able to search the role. So let me go back to tools, and under tools, let me go back to security console. So now demo, again it is still not reflected. Let me just sign out and sign in again. Sometimes this creation of a role takes a little while because it has so many inherited roles. So it takes time to copy each and every inherited role, make a separate copy of that, and then this copy is directly assigned to our seeded role. Sorry, our custom role. So it takes a while to do all this activity. Let me search again demo. Okay, let me search for human resource specialist. Okay, meanwhile it reflects back over here. Meanwhile, we'll just take a look at what we saw yesterday over here. that users. So okay, another functionality which we go to roles, we have here create role and compare role. So create role, as the name suggests, that from the scratch you don't want to make any copy, you don't want to take inherited or any top level copied role. What you want to do is create a whole new role and add certain functionalities. Then you can click on create role, and I can suggest any demo employee custom. I can just copy demo employee custom, and here I can say HCM apps. Here you can see there are various role categories available. On the primary level, these are just an identification of roles. It means that I can say employee custom, it means that employee is primarily in the HCM abstract role. So I can create an HCM abstract role category, but even though I can go and say it is a default one or it is a financial abstract role, and then I can add in appropriate privileges or duties. This is just to identify that primarily this role is used in which module. So definitely we'll go with the HCM abstract role, or we can say HCM job role. Okay, now even okay, let's come back to HCM abstract role and click on next. So here I can select add function security policy. I can search various policy, let's say personal access fusion personal information page. So I can select this, and as it says allows access to fusion personal information page, I can click on add privilege to role, and the role will be attached here. Similarly, I can go to next screen. Again, as I said, that duty security policies are primarily handled from other different screens. So I will skip this page and I'll come to role hierarchy. Let's say I want to give access to change personal payment method. That is my bank account. So manage personal payment method duty. I select the duty, and as it says manages personal payment method used to pay a person, and defines the how the payments are split if multiple method are specified. So a description has been provided. Let me just add this role to the custom role. So this duty has been added. Now if I check my function security policy, when I click on load inherited policies, I can see that manage personal payment method privileges has been added up. Why? Because I added a duty. And what is duty? It is mainly a collection of privileges. So it may happen that there is only one privilege available, but it is being notified as a duty. So when I add a certain role or certain duty, it automatically populates or it automatically adds up all the privileges linked with that duty or a role. Okay. So now I can again go to next screen, and I can say that I want this role directly attached to, let me check out for any Ahmed, which Ahmed Shaheen. So Ahmed Shaheen here. So I say add user to the role. It means that when I complete the creation of this role, Ahmed Shaheen will have this employee created custom role. Okay. All right. So I can go on summary and I can check it out what exactly I did. So it says that I added one security policy, I added one role, and I added one user. Now I can click on save and close and the employee role will be created. Now I will not click on this now because let me make this point very clear that as and when you create a role, you cannot delete the role. You cannot even inactivate the role. In that case, what you have to do is you need to rename the role. Okay, finally our job role is here. So as I was saying that you cannot delete the role, what you need to do is, let's say there is a role, this is the role which you have created, but now you don't want to use this role. So what you need to do is you can go to edit role and you can change the name. You say it not in use. This is just a outside of the box practice. If you want to have something like not in use, instead of that, do not use, or you can just remove the whole name and you can say do not use. System will not mind making any kind of change in the role name, but it will not allow you, or it will not allow delete this role from the system as a whole. Okay, so in future whenever you create a role, or any organization who creates a role, you need to make sure that you are creating a role as and when required. Okay, all right. So now we created this role, custom role, and we saw that human resource specialist GSC was created by default. So if you see, there are number of roles which are created as a copy. Why? Because we told while copying the role that please copy the inherited roles as well. So now as we discussed that I don't want absence work area to be accessible. So that was inherited by human resource specialist. So what I need to do here is, so what I need to do is, I need to search human resource specialist here, GSC role. So I will go to GSC role. Okay, and I will go to edit role, and then I will go to function security policy. And then now if you see absence administration work area, if I see, I can click on delete and absence work area will be removed from human resource manager as a whole. So let's say I have discarded this. Now I go and click on save and close. So it says you have removed one privilege. I'm saying okay. And now I don't have human absence administration area to access. So now again I go to demo human resource manager. When I go to edit role, and when I go to function security policy, if I load the inherited privilege policies, so here you can see that absence entry using calendar is available, but absence administration work area is not available. So this is how you need to work out. This is how you need to make a practice. When you copy the top role, you need to remove the privileges which you don't want from the inherited role. Okay. Now, just to make a confirmation of this, let's say I'm going to simulate navigator. It means that I want to check that what all access is available through this role. Okay, so again, the more or less the access are same because this was a copy of human resource manager role. Here, if I check absence is still available, just a minute. Okay, absence administration. All right. Okay. So more or less, currently our human resource manager custom role is same as the seeded one, and the access available is also the same because we have not made a major modifications to which we can reflect. Uh, Let me do one thing. I will. What I'll try to do here is that absence administration. See that there. Okay. The rules. All right. So it's taking a little while, as I said, that it takes a little while. It is again taking a while over here to reflect on the copy custom rule. But more or less, this is the same. That this is how the rule reflection will take place. Now, okay. Before that, we were on this point of comparing role. So when I click on compare role, here I can select two roles which I have created. Let me say demo human resource manager custom on the one side, and on the other side I will say the seeded role human resource uh, not analyst manager. Okay, so this is the seeded role, and on the other hand I have custom role. So I just want to see that give me differences whether what all roles and privileges are available in first role, or I can say what is available in the second role, or I can say what are available in both the roles, what is common in between these two roles, or I can say show me all. It means that show me all the privileges which are available in first role, show me all the privileges and roles which are available in the second role, also show me all the privileges and roles which are common in both the roles. So I can select, let's say I just want to see what all roles are available in the first role, that is our custom role. So I can select that option and I can click on compare. So it will start comparing these two roles, and it will list down all the roles or the privileges which are available in the first role but which are not available in the second role. So as you can see, minus sign says that it is not available, and here plus sign says that it is available. Okay, so these are the differences which we can how we can use this compare role functionality, and we can identify when we have a scenario where you have created multiple roles and you need to see that whether this both roles are having different accesses or what kind of accesses are available. You can check it out from here. Okay, so now we have creation, or again to update this role we can just go to edit role, and here we can again modify. This is how you can update role. So we can create, we can update role but we cannot delete role, as I already communicated. Now we have gone through privileges, duties, job role, and the abstract role. Okay. Now let's go to the data role, which will, as we have discussed, that which will give you control or feature to create such controls to restrict the data access. Okay. Now from where we can see the data role. So prior to creation of data role, we need to have data security policies defined on our system, and that data security policies is available under workforce structure. Okay, so here is the security profiles. So data role can only be created once we have security policies defined. Now what are security policies, or we can say security profiles? So basically different kind of profiles you can create. It means that you can create a person security profile, you can create multiple security profiles, each profile signifying that what access or what all persons access available in this person security profile. It means, let me go on another sheet. Let me go create another sheet. I'll explain that this is person security profiles. So under this, I am creating UK person security profiles, and here I am creating US person security profiles. It means that I am creating this profile and I am uh, giving out some rules in this profile which will restrict my access only for the employees who are available, or only for the person who are available in this criteria. It means that, let's say, let's go on the screen and let's create one security profile. It will be more clear picture over here. And let's say I'm creating it here. So by default, you can see you can apply restrictions using various options available. Means you can secure the data by area of responsibility. You can secure the data by manager hierarchy. You can secure the data by person types, or you can secure your data by department, by business unit, by legal employer. Okay. Also here you can select a custom criteria. Okay. Now definitely this is just an overview I'm giving. I'm going to go down this whole page. Sorry. Now area of responsibility. Basically we have a functionality, we have a feature on Fusion which says area of responsibility. Now what does area of responsibility mean? It means that when you are creating, when you have an organization in which you have some specific people to whom you are giving away a certain responsibility. As we discussed here, we have HR specialist 1, HR specialist 2, and HR specialist 3. Now let's say here I want to give this responsibility of human resource specialist for HR department only. Another HR specialist available, I want to give the access, or I want to give this HR specialist to the second HR specialist. I want him or her to manage the finance department people. It means that all the HR related data of finance department, it means that all the employees who are working in finance department, their HR data will be accessible by HR specialist 2. When I say that HR specialist 1 is responsible for HR department only, it means that those who are working under HR department. Let me modify this department. I will say IT department. It means that those who employees are working under IT department, the responsibility of managing these people, these employees, is given to HR specialist, this human resource specialist 1. Similarly, finance department employees being handled by HR specialist 2. And let's say the third is admin department. So admin department people are managed by human resource specialist 3. Okay, so I can create an area of responsibility, and then I can assign this responsibility to, let's say, person A, person 1, who has role of human resource specialist 1. Similarly person 2, similarly person 3. Okay, so this person 1 has human resource specialist 1 role, a job role, and also has area of responsibility. I can say here AOR in short, area of responsibility for IT department. It means that HR specialist 1 has a responsibility to manage IT department. It means this manage, when I say that responsibility to manage this IT department, it means that whenever any whenever any transaction which is initiated by employee who is working in IT department, then approval flow will go through human resource specialist 1. Why? Because HR specialist 1, that is this person 1, that person 1 is responsible for all transactions in IT department. Please let me know if you have doubt in this or if this is not clear. This is the concept of area of responsibility. Basically, on a system, we have a feature that we can assign a responsibility to one person, and that responsibility may vary as per number of perspective. Here I have given a department. If I say, let me just go once quickly on this area of responsibility. So this responsibility is assigned to each individual. So I need to search one employee. So let me search Ahmed, and let me go to Ahmed Shahin. I can go from here to area of responsibility. So when I say that I am assigning a responsibility to this person, it means that I'm creating responsibility over here. So as you can see that you can create this responsibility on various level. It means that what we were discussing as an example over here is on the department level. It means that I can select the department over here. Let me search for IT department if it is available. Okay, I guess there is no department named as such. Okay, so here accounting IN. We have various other, these are all the preloaded demo perspective departments. So let me take this. Accounting is fine. Let me take accounting IN. I will just assign this here. It means now, what am I saying is, this employee Ahmed Shahin has a responsibility for department accounting IN. It means that when I set my approvals, when I create my approval rules, I can say that this approval flow must go according to area of responsibility. It means, giving a basic example, that when I change my name, I want that it should go to my HR specialist for approval. So let's say I work in accounting IN department. So when I change my name, my approval will go to this Ahmed Shaheen person. Why? Because he is the person who is responsible for managing this department. Moreover, I can define other criterias as well. Let's say here the country is a criteria. Let's say I'm agreeing the criteria, selecting India as a country, but me as an employee, I'm working in UK. I have the same department accounting, but I am working in UK. Okay, so forget that this IN is available here. Just for a sake, just forget this. It means that there is only one department accounting which is available in India as well as in UK. Now, being an employee of UK, my country will also be UK. So when I raise a transaction, my approval will not go to Ahmed Shahin in that place, because my country has to be in India, has to be India. Then only this approval will go to Ahmed Shahin, because the responsibility is defined in that manner. Okay, so this is the concept of area of responsibility, and this area of responsibility is basically what we see in the security profile. Let me go to security profile, workforce structure. Search for profiles. Okay, so this, we saw various criteria in person security profile. So let me just give you overview of everything. Let me go start with our organization security profile. Okay, so just I'm assuming that you will be clear with the concept of legal entity and business unit and tax reporting unit. So this all criteria or this all terminologies are explained in the fusion functional session. So assuming that, I'm proceeding here to explain that how this organization security policy profile is created. So I can say secure by organization classification. It means that I can have a profile which is secured by department. Okay, it means that each and every uh, department on the system will be treated as a separate secured access. And when I say organization classified or created, this organization security profile created with the classification of department, it means that this profile, when assigned indirectly to a person, that person will have access to the details of employees who are working in that same department in which that employee is working. It means that if I'm working in IT department and if I have my security profile attached to me, okay, then I can say that if I'm working in IT department, then I will have access to details of employees who are working in that same department, in the IT department. So this is basically how the creation of organization security profile. This is the topmost level in the profiles available. So organization organization security profile. This is the high level security profile available on the system to define. Okay, so let's say apart from department, I say that secure by organization list. Let me not select this and just say secure by organization list. It means that I can particularly select which business unit. Let me search this, and business unit. So all the business units on the system are available here. What I can say that finance SVCS UK business unit. Let's say I'm selecting this and I'm saying include. It means that this profile will give access to this business unit only. Okay, this profile, once I create it, it will give me access to finance SVCS UK business unit only. Am I clear on this term? Is there anyone who has doubt on this profile creation, organization profile creation? All right. Just if you have any concern, let me know, and I'll proceed with this. So there are various profiles available. Now, before just going to this all profiles in detail, uh, how does we actually link this profile with our job roles? That is how the creation of data role takes place. I will go through that quickly. So in this data roles and security profiles, I can click on create. Okay, I can say demo HR manager data custom data role. Okay, here I can select the job role which we have created, demo human resource manager custom. So understand that when we talk about job role, it gives you access to only screens or any navigator option, but it does not restrict your data access. So here what we are trying to do is, here we are defining the data access by creating a data role. So now I can click on next, and here is the page where you can assign all the profiles. You see the profile list which we were taking a look just a few minutes before, that all profiles are created and then are assigned over here. So when I said that secure by organization list, and there I had selected finance AVCS UK business unit, it means that when I create that profile and when I assign it over here, my data will be restricted according to that profile. Now understand that I defined that this profile will give access only to a finance AVCS UK business unit. Okay, it means my criteria has been defined. Now I am attaching that criteria to this job role or this data role, saying that the person who has this data role assigned will be able to see the organization security data according to the profile which is attached here. It means that the person who has this role attached will be able to see the data which belongs to finance avcs uk business unit. Okay, so first we define a criteria, and then we assign this criteria to a data role, and this data role is ultimately attached to an employee. Okay, am I clear on this point? Just let me know yes and no so that I can understand whether to proceed or not. If you have some confusion, yes, we can definitely clear it right away.
Sorry, this is Sunday. I know we're almost done with with this at the moment. My own area of concern is we need to, apart from you explaining this, you will need to demo. So we'll manage to, number one, to actually create one from the scratch to the end. That's number one. And number two, I know some of the explanation you've been making is based on HR. I mean, more based on HR. I
Yeah.
know this is a technical section. So basically, from technical point of view, I need to know, maybe from my own side, I need to know what are the technical responsibilities, what are the technical roles that we
Correct.
need. I know you've been explaining HR, so which is fine. So I know we've covered some of this actually in the HR section, but when it comes to the technical section, I need to know what are the roles which the technical guy will need. So that one I'm not really getting it at the moment.
Okay.
So maybe it might be something that we manage to do tomorrow or when anytime we need to do it.
So you mean to ask that what all technical roles will be required in
Yeah,
order to perform certain these all actions,
right.
correct?
That's it. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, on the primary level, this does not have any specific role to create any kind of profile. Basically, an human resource manager will have the access to create certain profile. But when we talk about IT security or any technical security on the organization perspective, this technical stuff will be handled by IT team, IT management team. So IT manager will be having access to create all the security profiles as well as to create this roles, the data roles or the job roles which we saw, and that all roles. Just let me go to security console here. So basically, this IT manager or IT team of an organization will be having this access to we have this IT manager role. Okay, IT security manager. Basically, this IT security manager will give you access to security console. Along with that, will have access to data security profiles. Okay. Now, as an organization, I'll be looking forward that my IT team will handle all the security concerns. So this security concern is also, though not being a very technical perspective, but it's a part of IT team to handle this. Hence, it is included in the technical sessions. So over and all, I can say that this security concern being in the perspective of an organization is handled by IT team, hence included in the technical perspective or technical session. More or less, after the area of responsibility, I'll not be going deep down in that area because that is again a functional area. But the level of the certain level of understanding which we need in perspective to create security profiles, in that level, in that deep level, I'll be going or I'll be covering from my side. Does
Okay.
that answer your question?
Yeah, I think it
right?
answered it to a certain point. So I think I still need to check this video to be able to know, just to practice more. Anyway, let me put it that way. So that'll be
Right,
fun.
right, right. Okay. Basically, I would have proceeded to create a certain role, but definitely being in this demo instance and heavy load on this instance, prior to creation of our role, we'll have number of processes to schedule. We will have a number of processes to complete so as to reflect our role's functionality as we modified here. And that's why I'm not going into creation of that, or showing you on the screen that it has reflected. But yes, you can try it out on your side, and definitely I will be giving you, in the next session I will list down a certain list of processes which is related to your role creations. And as and when you modify your roles, you need to perform, or you need to run that certain set of processes so that it reflects on your front end, on the accessibility level. Okay. So from tomorrow we will go down deep in the security profiles and we'll be creating the data role. Okay. The data role creation will be the last point for the security side on roles area. Then we will go into other administration and other categories later on in the following sessions. Okay. So, any other doubt or any other concern regarding today's session? All right, then I will conclude the session. If you have any issue or any concern, definitely please be prepared. We can have this questions cleared out in the next session as well. Thank you, team. Thank you for joining. Have a lovely day. Meet you tomorrow. Okay.